Hey everybody, so this video is going to show you how to set up your mini Educator e-collar. These are the ones that I use for pretty much all of my clients, and these are the ones that I really like. Okay, so when you open up the box, you've got everything in there. It's all got its cute little fancy place. So usually when you get these, you're going to need to charge them. So when you go to charge them, you've got this right here on the collar, and that will turn red when it's dead, and that's also going to let you know when it's getting stem too from the remote. But so what you're going to do is you've got the flap in the back to open it. You can kind of see that, and you can open up like that. You put your charger in, obviously it'll be plugged into the wall, and so when it's charging, this will light up red. That means it's dead and it's completely charging and it needs more life to it. When it turns green, that means it's ready to rock and roll and you can take it off the charger. Okay, when you take these off the charger, you need to pull from right here. So it's very much like a phone. You've got to pull from that, otherwise you're going to start to fray this cord. Okay, so that's the collar, and then with this remote, you're going to do the same thing. So you flip it around the back. It's got a flap in the back. Flip it up, and then you can put that in and charge it like that. This part on the front will blink red, not blink, it will be a solid red when it's dead, and then when it's ready to rock and roll, it's going to be green. Okay, so when you're done, pull that out when it's done charging. To turn these units on and off, you've got the red dot on the collar, the red dot on the remote. You'll touch them together. See how that went green? That means that the collar is now on and it will blink green too. Okay, so green means it's alive. When it starts to go a little dead, it's gonna go kind of a yellow color, kind of like yellow-orange color. And then when it's like dead, the thing blinks red and then it just shuts itself off. Okay. And then to turn on your remote is you're gonna go in the back and it says on, off. The big button, you're gonna hold that down for a little bit longer. There we go, now it's on. Okay, so to turn it off, I'm gonna go to the big button in the back, hold it down, and now it's off. Okay, when I go to turn off my collar, do the same thing, red dot to red dot, hold it together, and then it's off. Okay. So we're going to turn this back on, and I'm going to go over these buttons a little bit. Okay, so how I use these collars is I've got a momentary and a continuous stem. So momentary, we've got two buttons right here. It's a black and a red. So if I hold down the momentary, which is the top one, I guess it's got to be on a number for it to get stem because it's on 0 right now. There we go. So it goes red once, and so whatever this is lighting up, that's the stem that it's getting. So I hold it down, and then it just blinks once. That just means it kind of does like a little bump to the dog. Okay, if I need it longer, then I've got the red button, then I'm gonna hold it down. So notice I can hold this down, hold this down, hold this down, and it's stem on here. This has a safety feature on it, and so it will automatically shut off after 10 seconds. So I'm still holding it down, but notice the whole thing shut off. Okay, and then I can go back to doing that. This single button over here, it's got a T on it. That's for the vibrate. And so it's on that side. So it's for the vibrate. And so I can hold that down. I don't know if you can hear this, but it's just vibrating. Okay. So it's going. Okay. To change the numbers on the dial is I can move this up or down. Okay. And I'm just twisting it. Okay. This goes all the way up to 100. Most dogs don't need to go up to 100 unless they are like really blowing you off. Most of the time, I'm gonna go up to like a 30 on a dog if they're really not listening to me. Most dogs, like 90% of the dogs that I work, they're gonna be below a 10. That's kind of their working level. When I take them out in public, I might have to bump it up to a 12, but for the most part, dogs are sitting at like a 5, honestly. So it's nothing crazy. It's just kind of a little nip. We don't want dogs, if we're having dogs jerking their necks and kind of popping to the side when we're doing stuff, then we know it's too high. Okay, so we want to keep it low. Working levels, work on low. Okay, so you've got that in there, and then it comes standard with the shorter prongs on here, the contact points, and so I've got other ones in here which are the longer contact points. Okay, so short ones I'm going to use on labs, boxers, dogs like that, or doodles that have had their coat shaved. And then when I'm using the longer contact points, that's going to be more of my German Shepherds, Border Collies, things like that. If I need to, they do have adapters. And so if a dog has a really long, thick coat, so like Huskies, Malamutes, things like that, they do have a winged contact point that actually it's kind of more of a wire to help get through that coat. So that is an option when we do use these for the dogs if we need something different for them. Okay, so to change out contact points, I've got all of my cool little tools in here. So I'll open up my bag and I'm gonna grab this tool. Okay, so how I change contact points, it's kind of like a little screwdriver. So put it on there and then I'm just gonna twist it to kind of break it free. And then I'm gonna roll this out. Okay, and then to put on the longer ones, you're just gonna screw it down. Okay, so it goes on, and then we just screw it on. And then I will just do a little bit of a turn, not much because I don't want to over tighten these and pop them, but you can kind of see the difference in length on those. Okay, so we're actually gonna put the longer ones on this collar. Okay, and that's how we do that. Okay, got a call coming in. Okay, so nothing too crazy with these. When we do put these on the dogs, a lot of times you've got a long tail on here. You can cut these off if you need to, just with scissors. I usually will put it so when it's on the dog, I measure it out and then I'll just cut it right there. Just measure it to the end of it and then cut it. Okay. You also have a lanyard in here, so you can hook that onto here. That's what this little hook is for. So I can hook that there. Migo, can you move? Come here. Can you move? Thank you. You're making noise, dude. Okay, so that hooks on. This has just got a little thing to hold it all together, but I typically don't use these. Reason being is because I've had a lot of clients that actually have these pop off. So I don't use them. Some people really like them. Just a personal preference thing. Okay, and then also in here, you've got a tester, which is this little one. So I'm dropping stuff. So it's this little one, kind of the clear one. You can put this on your contact points. Hold it down if you don't want to test it with your hand. And then sometimes it will light up, sometimes it won't. You've got to hit it like dead center on it. There we go. There, you can see it blinking. Sort of to let you know that it's on. Okay. I usually just test them on my hand. I put them on a low level to see if it's working. And then you've got this other tool right here, and this so you can change the skin on it. This part. So if I want a different color, these do come in light green, blue, orange, all sorts of fun stuff. I put it on the side in the notch, and then I can just kind of pry this apart. Maybe. Thinking about it, there we go. So that does come off and you can change colors on these, okay? Put it back on, slide it into place, and then just pop it, okay? So pretty simple, pretty straightforward. The other thing with these two, with the box, is so you've got the tray. If you pick up the tray, there's an owner manual in the bottom, okay? One thing with the e-collars, I don't leave them out in weather, so treat it a lot like your cell phone. Don't leave cell phones in hot cars. Don't leave these in hot cars, any part of it, because it will kill your battery. Too hot, too cold, because it is electronics. These have a half-mile range on them, and that's very much contingent upon kind of the terrain you're in. So if I'm in something really hilly, it's not going to go very far, but if I'm flat, I've got a pretty good range on these. If you need more range, you can hold it up higher. If the dog is pretty close, you can hold it down by your side. Okay. I think that's it for the mini Educator e-collars. Those are them. And this is the ET300.